Introducing Ivoclar Digital Dentures from Ivoclar. Experience unparalleled precision and efficiency with Ivoclar's state-of-the-art digital denture workflow.
Ivoclar is available in their patent-pending monolithic disc that combines denture base and tooth materials in one seamless puck.
Ivoclar is also available as standalone discs, Ivoclar base, dent, and dent multi, that all in a 98mm width to fit your favorite milling machine.
With Ivoclar, you can streamline your lab's processes, reduce production time, and enhance your patient satisfaction.
These things look amazing. Elevate your lab's capabilities with Ivoclar Digital Denture, where innovation meets perfection. Discover the future of dentures today with Ivoclar. And as always, we thank you for your continued support of the podcast. Welcome to Voices from the Bench, a dental laboratory podcast. Send us an email at info@voicesfromthebench.com and follow us on Facebook and Instagram. Greetings and welcome to episode 327 of Voices from the Bench. I'm Elvis.
Oh, you didn't say my name is Elvis.
I know,
Barbara.
I switched it up on you.
That's rare. I'm Barbara.
It dawned on me right before I said it. I was like, I'm going to mix this up slightly.
Take a risk.
Yeah, there you go. Live on the edge.
Yeah, why not, right?
Yeah, so we have a great episode this week, but we cannot waste any time on us BSing.
Yes. I know you're going to miss it, but we're going to roll right into this.
If people are really into hearing about the weather and us running, I'm sorry. We have some business to do because the Golden Bench Club is taking off.
Did you really think it wouldn't? Our audience and the dental technician community is amazing. Need I say more?
I've had bad ideas in the past, so I really wasn't sure. But Barb, do me a favor. Tell them what is the Golden Bench Club.
So you can get into the Golden Bench Club by simply leaving us a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts or wherever you listen to Voices from the Bench. If you leave the review in a country other than the US or on another app, simply take a screenshot and email it to info@voicesfromthebench.com.
I had a bunch of people let me know that they listen on Spotify and there's nowhere to write a review.
Well, what the hell?
That's what I said. I said, well, you better write me one anyways and just email it to me so I feel good.
Good call. All right.
So, Barb, tell everybody, what do they get once they get into the Golden Bench Club?
We're going to read your review on the podcast. You will have endless bragging rights everywhere you go, and you will have the forever gratitude and appreciation from Elvis and I. So thank you. Thank you.
I don't think there could be anything better than what you get at the Golden Bench Club.
I tell you what, my gratitude is just flowing right now.
Oh no, look out everybody. It's knee deep up in here.
All right, come on, start us off with a song. Let's do it.
I have decided that there's so much talk of AI in our industry and on this podcast, I have had AI generate us the theme song for getting into the Golden Bench Club. So for the first time, here it is.
The best of the best, above all the rest. They are the definition of amazing dental technicians. They gave us 5 stars. That makes them superstars. Welcome to the Golden Bench Club.
Our first review is from B. Joe, or as I knew it was, Brandy Joe, titled Simply the Best, and then just better than the rest.
Thank you.
Thank you, Brandy. The next one is from Tracy B. 36, and after reading this, I know it was from Tracy Boyer.
Good
titled
girl.
Great Dental Podcast. She says, I am a dental lab tech and love listening to Voices from the Bench with Elvis and Barb. I know Elvis personally and have had the honor of working with him. That's what not most people say.
Yeah.
His knowledge of the dental industry is phenomenal. He brings his knowledge to the podcast, along with Barb, to help keep us and the industry up to date. Thank you for all that you do, Elvis and Barb. Keep up the great work. And Tracy, welcome to the Golden Bench Club.
And Tony Prespatino, here's his Voices from the Bench review, and I quote, "The Voices from the Bench podcast is hosted by two of the best. Elvis and Barb are so refreshing. They make everything seem so normal instead of stuffy. And they are real pros. One of us is, anyways. Mm-hmm. They cover the pertinent information in dental, along with a good amount of heartwarming situations in our field that uplift us. Aw, thanks for all you do." Thank you, Tony.
And welcome to the Golden Bench Club.
You know it. Oh, damn. We've got Marky Mark W., which is Mark Williamson, the best, and I quote, unquote, duo in the dental laboratory industry. Thanks for what you two do.
Aww.
Thanks, Mark.
Mark, we'll see you in September for the race.
Yeah, he's going to kick your ass.
What? We're on a team.
I know. I'm just joking. Work with me.
So the next one is from Zalbiziel.
Oh, God, you're not going to know how to pronounce this.
I think they created this name just to throw me off. Zalbesiael. However you pronounce that. It's titled Best Dental Podcast Explanation Point. If you're not listening to this, you're listening to the wrong podcast.
True that.
I agree, Z. So our next one is from Blue Steel 612. The title is The Voices and Heroes of DLT. They say Voices from the Bench is an outstanding podcast dedicated to the dental laboratory community, offering a unique blend of expert insights, industry news, and personal stories. Hosted by experienced dental technicians, Barbara and Elvis, Barb more experienced than me, I added that in. The show provides a platform for lab technicians, owners, and other dental professionals to share their experiences and expertise. Each episode is engaging and informative, covering a wide range of topics from the latest technologies to business management tips. The host's passion and humor make complex subjects accessible and enjoyable. Voices from the Bench is an invaluable resource for anyone in the dental lab industry, fostering a sense of community and continuing learning. To continued success, my friends, a round of fireball to the both of you!
Thank you.
Blue Steel, we appreciate it, and welcome to the club.
You know what? That's super endearing, though. Thank you.
Someone took a long time to write that.
And Jaime, the star of the Raiders of the Lost Lab Talk saga. I recommend their content. With a key focus on humor, they share what happens in the day-to-day at dental labs from around the world. I love seeing that in all countries, we dental technicians are the same and live in very similar situations. A must-listen to podcast if you are a dental lab technician. Thank you, Jaime.
And everybody that gave us a review, again, we welcome you to the Golden Bench Club.
Welcome to the Golden Bench Club.
And if you want to join the club, all you gotta do is leave us a 5-star review and comment.
Thank you all.
So this week, we are back to the sunny and beautiful island of Mallorca, Spain. Thanks to the wonderful folks at Exocad, they gave us a spot near the beach at Exocad Insights 2024 to record so many amazing people. And on this episode, we're featuring 3 people and 2 great conversations. So I purposely put people together that I can pronounce all their names. So this is exciting.
I'm sure you're still going to screw it up, but go for it.
Okay, now you've made me nervous. First up is the dynamic sister duo that is changing the way communication is done in dentistry. Kristina and Margarita Vaitelyte.
Guys, I love you.
Kristina was on an episode a while ago, and we learned about her journey, and she also talked about her sister. But now we get to talk to both of them and learn how they work together when one is in England and the other is in Lithuania. Kristina is the CAD technician, and Margarita is the ceramic.
You know it.
Yeah, you love them ceramics.
Uh-huh.
They talk about using Exocad Art, or Advanced Restorative Treatment, to streamline communication, doing real-time treatment planning, and the importance of starting a case with the end result in mind.
Always.
And then we meet a dental therapist, Kat Edney.
I really thought she was a therapist for us, psychological
Oh,
therapist.
yeah. And our industry
first.
needs a lot of those.
I know.
Kat is also from England, and basically she starts to explain to us what the hell a dental therapist is. Her journey starting as a hygienist, what she can and can't do clinically, how it fits in the teamwork approach to patient care, and a really great way to communicate to a lab using videos. So join us as we chat with Kristina and Margarita Vaitelyte and Kat Edney. Voices from the Bench. The interview. You guys are actually our first.
You are our first.
Oh, what an
Are you
honor.
recording?
Yeah. So here we are in freaking Mallorca, Spain, an island in the Mediterranean.
Hola, hola everyone.
Hola,
Our very
everyone.
first interview. Wonderful.
Yes, so we have the sisters, right?
Yeah.
This is this.
So back, what episode were you on originally? Do you remember what number?
209.
209.
209.
Oh, 309.
God, we're on like 400 now.
No, we're not.
Yes,
No.
many.
309 probably.
309.
Still, Kristina
Vaitelyte.
Vaitelyte. And your sister, what's your name? I don't even know.
Margarita Vaitelyte.
Let me see your tag. Let me see your tag. What is it? Let me see your tag.
Margarita.
Oh yeah,
Whoa.
my tag.
Margarita Vaitelyte.
Yeah. Margarita, like pizza.
Like
Nice.
pizza. So how are you two? Tell us all about it. I saw all your posts and everything with you guys coming in and being on the beach. And how is it going?
Absolutely ecstatic, to be honest. The people here are mind-blowing. They look after each other. We share knowledge, and everything digital meets also the analog.
Yeah.
So we are fusing both worlds together at the moment and making the seamless processes together with Exocad, which I love. And it will be launched so many new things that you can't imagine. So you need to be here to see, as a first.
Yeah.
And later we will experience, how the month's gonna go after this.
Yeah.
So, Margarita, you're not the cat expert, right?
No,
I didn't think so. I kind of remember the story where...
she's CAD expert, and if I need anything, like I've got idea, and I need someone to execute, I always go to her first.
Yeah.
Because I know she got that thinking, digitally, and sometimes, like, for example, there is like things worry me,
Yeah.
and I'm always thinking, I've got this problem, and you need to think how to sort this out or how to put that in digital and make me to think of solutions. So this is
So
my
she
girl.
pushes you, right?
Yes,
So what is your actual role?
I'm ceramist.
Oh, good. So am I.
Because
That's what I was thinking
you guys
when you
don't
were
work
talking.
together. You're in the
Yeah.
UK and you're in...
Well, I've been in UK for 7 years.
Oh.
And now I went back to Lithuania to join my family to work
That's
because
right. Yep.
our brother is a dentist, so I'm working with him.
How is that going?
Well,
I
little
heard-
complicated times, but I think we are getting there.
Good.
We understand each other much more, and because we can cooperate everything like digital and analog
Yep.
and our knowledge, like what we gained before together, I think we understand each other much more, and we find better solutions because they really work.
Yeah.
So he seems to be more relaxed as he used to be. So I
Well, he
find
is your
it, like,
brother.
Yeah, encouraging.
I feel like we are fusing both worlds because the thing is we are so distant from each other. Like dentists are working in their office, we are working in our office, and there is so much in between, like how to collaborate. It's
Yeah.
harder because they want to do their thing, we want to do our thing, but now we're learning to work together because this is the real dentistry. It's like they're specialists about the people, we are specialists about manufacturing. And now we can fuse it together, and digital tools really, really helps. Like, because I'm all things digital. And like working with Margarita is very analog, you're very hands-on as a ceramist. And she comes up, as she said, I need this structure to look like this. So I need to make the frameworks or execute it that she will need to touch at least just, what she needs.
Yeah.
No trimming, no reducing the frameworks. We need to make as exact to produce the best outcome and also get the best out of digital. So
You mean you think it's important to give the ceramists what they want? We don't want to do
Oh,
that.
no.
No.
Not always. That's why I'm saying if I got an idea, I first talk. So this is like we spend so much time on WhatsApp, you know?
Yeah.
Like
Oh, yeah.
for trying to find the best solutions. And, well, later we don't need to talk because we already know the paths, like we gonna work together. Or like the solutions, what really made a difference, you know, like improved the process. So we just like, I don't know, finding the easier way with less communication, like actual communication.
Yep.
I feel like this insights will give quite a lot of options, you know, how to minimize the communication and maximize the efficiency in general.
That's a big theme here this weekend is communication.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But this is where we are lacking. Industry is quite weak at the point, you know, communication. Because dentists want to talk, nurses want to chase work, you know, and how to collide all of this work. And sometimes, like your memes, where's the work? Actually, it's in the lab.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not in the lab, it's at the dentist's office, you know,
Yeah.
at the reception. So, and we're getting these phone calls. Why?
Yeah, where is it? Well,
Yeah.
you already have it.
Yeah.
So do you do Margarita's work
Yeah.
for your brother?
Yeah, Crown and Bridge mainly.
So from Lithuania, they scan. They send it
Yes.
all the way to you in the UK. You design it. Do you mill it in the UK?
No, everything is done in Lithuania.
So you send the design back. You guys mill it in the office?
No,
Oh,
we actually
a third
cooperate
party.
with other. We're doing.
Yes,
Wow.
For us.
Not another family member.
So
like a
somebody's
cousin
milling
or
it
something.
for you and getting it ready and
Yeah.
then sending
Yes.
it to you
That
to
is one of
finish?
the biggest milling centers in Baltics, I feel.
Yeah.
So it's Prodenta. They are here as well. So probably they will stop by to have
Yeah.
a chat. So they are doing milling work. And,
Wow.
And they are really good.
So
really,
that's crazy
really good.
workflow. That's
Yeah,
a lot going
well,
on.
It sounds like a lot, but really they are very fast because, for example, if I send it tonight or like we finish in the end of the day, in the morning, they find my work in the email or on the system. They created the system now. So everything sent out to print or mail the same morning, and then the nighttime they put on the bus post,
Wow.
like, you
Yeah,
know,
yeah.
and the same night I'm getting the job.
Wow.
So it's really
So
quick
it's not,
turnaround.
yeah.
Like in UK, we need used to have 2 days of postage. So I feel like it's much quicker.
Yeah,
here.
you've condensed that
Yeah, yeah.
down,
Yeah.
even though you're right. It sounds like a lot,
Yeah.
but
No,
it works
all,
really
all
well.
the work is in the background. It sounds like you're sending to UK. It's just
It's like click.
seconds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Internet is good, you know,
Yeah.
internet connection. If you got it, like, you got no trouble really
Yeah.
to upload anything. So this is what we're using, like good internet connection. And UK got very good internet as well.
Yeah. So we'll see, because I feel ExoArt will change quite a lot of things, and will.
So talk about that.
So the ExoArt will be access to do our own aligners, and also in that sense, everything is reverse engineer. I do the design because CAD technology is not about making the design; it's the communication and creating the final work before trying anything. So we have absolute no invasive. I take the picture, face scan or whatever. I propose the design. Meantime, the dentist can speak about that with the patient in the chair. So we can confirm at least what type of teeth we are going, triangle.
You do that while the
square.
patient's there on their first appointment?
Yeah.
Like they're still there waiting for you to...
We're saving time. Who wants to travel? Because we enjoy, like, looking at the normal processes, we enjoy spending time and doing and sitting in a job. However, the patients need to take a day off to arrive. And sometimes, twice? Once for picture and a scan, and second for the design?
Yeah.
No need.
Interesting.
No
yeah.
So you
need.
get to see the face,
Yeah.
and then you send it back, and they get to see the smile line and the shapes and everything, and
Exactly.
say,
Because I
good
can
to go.
make the design 11 minutes. If
Yeah.
it's complicated, 45, we can discuss, a little bit here, a little bit there, educating the patient.
Do they have to pre-schedule you? Like, yeah, okay,
absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we do pre-schedule, we plan that, and from there we can move on and give the patient what they are looking for and minimize the confusion, because sometimes what I want to make is not what they want to get.
Oh, 100%, yeah.
And as an artist, I would like to do that. However, I'm a big people pleaser, and I feel like you need to do...
You got to give them what they want.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I do enjoy it. So with ExoArt, starting the design, then we're doing the alignment. Meantime, I can import, because it's made by AI, trusted partners from Invisalign. And then I can collaborate and be kind of the manager of the case, because I have, together with the dentist, I have the proposal. We know what patient wants, sent to Exocad Art Services. Then the job is coming back. I can import immediately to Exocad, and I can see how much is possible. Also, we have Exoplan. So if it needs any sort of multidisciplinary, so we're speaking about implants, aligner treatment, and we're speaking about our work, which is CAD, and also incorporating you guys who are doing, you know, the final work as a ceramics. We can cover all of that just on the computer.
So when that patient shows up for the first time and you do all this, you could even plan implants during this time too?
Depends on the space.
Yeah.
Because we need to find out how much space do we have. And from that point, communication with the dentist.
Yeah.
Because we can start placing implants even before finishing the alignment.
Wow.
Because if it's enough space to place an implant, we can do the implant placement and still continue the
aligner.
Yeah. Because because for implant, you don't need that much space as we need for the crown. That's it. Yeah. So everything is under the same umbrella. So we have, and also it's open system, any scanner. So it's coming back to the labs.
That's a huge benefit too.
Exactly.
Yes. Yeah.
Because look at the softwares before. Somebody does the alignment, somebody does the implant planning, and then we end up in a place like, oh, we could make it more. We deal with consequences. What could be done is not done, maybe.
Yeah.
And to prevent that, we can start reverse engineering from the end result and go back step by step what needs to be done to achieve it.
Yeah.
So the success of the case is done in the beginning.
Yeah, because
and you don't have to tweak it throughout because you're already
Well, it's also a selling point, because I'm thinking your user is the patient really. So he needs to know how he will be looking, because he might absolutely completely himself different way. You know,
like the way we see it and the way they see it.
It's opposite, might be opposite. Because you're thinking, what can I do? They think, this is the way I want to look. So you need to achieve.
Why are my teeth not all straight across at the bottom? You know, that's what they like.
This is the problem, seems to be, you know, because you're thinking, oh, sexy smile is like lots of gum, really different lengths of the laterals, and they saying,
you speak
not for me.
You're speaking like a technician, not like a patient.
Exactly.
So what ceramics do you use?
I use everything Ivoclar. I'm a big lover of Ivoclar, to be honest. Yes.
So when you get the units from the milling center, are they just white, or do you get them shaded, pre-shaded?
Are you Emax mostly?
Well, Emax, yes. Well, I always make prescription like what color I need or what color I would like to get, because again, patient choose the shade. Well, I would say he wants bright or like natural, so this is matters the shade choice.
Yep.
Then if it's zirconia, well, again, depends, like if it's posterior, mainly now we do in monolithics.
Yeah.
But I still like to tweak a bit, to lay a bit.
Yeah.
So I find it troubled, because others do just like stain and glaze, which is also a way to do, and it looks great. So for me it depends. I still sometimes like tweak a bit the shape. Yeah.
So do they mill the units and print the dies in the models? Where does that get
done?
Well,
we got the printer in the house. So
so you have your own printer, so you're good to go there.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah, but the concepts are changing massively, because previously everything was to layer. Now, ceramics is mainly like a painter. So
do you use Mio?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So it's true. And it just gives you the ability to just do so many amazing things.
Well, I remember,
it's a lot of fun.
the day when they presented Mio in the show in UK, and it was massive excitement because everyone been saying like, oh, I've been waiting for this material for like maybe a couple years to be bringing into UK.
Yeah.
So that was a massive game changer, and I remember like probably around COVID, so everyone was like, oh, what should we do now? What should we like think about doing our job? Like what way we should do the job? Because in the lab, like where I've been working at that time, we really had massive issues with the shades because monolithic didn't meet probably the expectations or didn't look in the mouth as good as they expected. So we've been like, oh yeah, we need to get Mio because it looks like so promising the shade wise, because before that we used like Ivoclar and it'd been a bit, like you need to put so much effort to stain down if you need to. So Mio made it easier.
So you said sorry, go ahead.
No, I was going to say, is Mio easier than the Ivo color, or I don't know.
Because it's thicker, and it's probably the difference is because, Mio is a ceramic itself, isn't it? It's like liquid ceramic.
Yeah, yeah.
So that's why I'm thinking, because the texture is different. So application is like, makes the difference.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah,
that makes sense. Yeah.
With Ivoclar, you really need like quite a bit to wear.
Yeah.
So how did you go to ceramics and you went this way and you went that way?
Well, I've been doing
Between the
everything
sisters.
really because, when we graduated, we needed to work in all departments.
You guys both went to college, school?
Yes.
What do you call it, uni?
Uni.
So we finished the same uni where our dad went. So we've been the second generation, and
I forgot your dad
went.
was a technician. Yeah.
So I did photography, so I'm an artist in the first place.
Yep.
I have a degree in fine arts, and with digital, all my interest shifted that way, and I really enjoyed that. I got so addicted, and I love the industry so much because look around. Everybody is so supportive. Everybody wants to be together and solve the problems, and it's about, us now.
So
and this
true.
industry is really like looking even globally. It's very bubble. It's not many of us left anyway. So who's in the industry is the ones who are passionate.
Yeah.
So I really, really enjoy this field. It's my, play area. And Margarita was doing ceramics, and she's like phenomenal. And I feel like, you're following the tradition.
Well, I still think because ceramics is a bit like, you can't do just fully digital, isn't it? You still need that hand touch.
Yep.
Yeah.
100%.
And everybody says that, and it's so true.
And I couldn't do the job without her because the amount we spend pre-planning is unreal. We talk about it. We discuss about, the way facets, where actually the cusps need to be. And sometimes I do not see these things. And it comes from the ceramics because you deal with occlusion every day.
Yeah.
I deal in the 3D where you have no sensation.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Great point.
Yeah, because I started incorporating graphic tablets in my work.
I've seen that. That's pretty cool.
Just because it looks cool. There is a massive learning curve, but it gives back the sensation slightly. It's the same as drawing on any kind of canvas. So it gives the feeling, the touch, and sometimes I can start feeling what dentists are doing when they are doing composite bonding. It's similar to that.
You think you're better on the tablet that you actually use like what is that, stylus?
So I would say I will never get away from the mouse.
Yeah.
So I grew up playing, Counter-Strike and
Oh, yeah.
so I don't
Conquer.
exactly. What would it be if I grew up, with a tablet, graphic tablet?
Yeah,
because now the
makes
generation
sense.
is coming on iPad. We're having a
Sure.
Apple Pen, so it will be a bit different. However, I am the most productive on a mouse, and if I need final touches or tweaks, I do with a hand, with a pen.
Interesting. Yeah.
So it's kind of just additional tool. It's not replacement.
Yeah.
So
Interesting.
you said second generation. What was your dad a ceramist?
That no,
Or was
that
he
was like doing dentures, and our mom is a dentist, so we literally grown up surrounded with
It's a lot
so
of
one of you
teeth in the
followed
family.
your dad, and one of you followed your
Toothaches.
mom, your brother.
you know
Yeah.
toothaches. So we've been surrounded with toothache more probably because it'd been that time, where I would say it was. Our mom was probably one or two dentists in the village then, so everyone who got a sore
yeah.
tooth like knocks on the door, and it doesn't matter Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Christmas, whatever.
Yeah.
So they've been literally like treated there because they've been sore, and our mom is the person who can't say no for no
Yeah.
one.
I think we're
And
probably
she
like
is the
that too.
doctor. She's
We
the
are.
doctor, you see. And but
Yeah. She's
technicians
taking-
became that way because you can't say no to the dentist. You
Yeah.
literally got the prescription and please fulfill this.
Is Dad still making dentures?
Well, he's a bit retired now. Yeah.
Have you
Yeah.
shown him 3D dentures?
Yes.
Does he-
yes.
what's he
he's
think?
fascinated.
Is
he?
He would
Yeah.
like to get hands-on, to be honest.
Yeah.
But our mom still works 6 days a week. She's 70,
Oh wow.
Wow.
That's awesome.
and she
Good for her.
loves it.
Yeah.
She's properly thriving, and also like knowing how much knowledge she has. For
Lot
her,
of experience,
having that
yeah.
palette of options, she's so efficient and clear, and it's not about what products are better. It's about what treatment is better, because she's seen it all.
Who does mom's work?
Every
You too?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Wow.
Still got chance, to help out.
Mom and brother work together?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, in the same practice, really, but they got like different patients and different
Sure.
perspective
So
of
you're
like
busy.
treating patients.
With both of them, I'm sure.
Yes, I would say both of them keeps us busy, but probably our brother keeps us busier more because he's still got like more ideas, he want to check out. So he gives us like extra thoughts how to achieve how to achieve the goals and like what the process we should try out. Because now, for example, 3D printing, it's the new thing, he's so much curious about. So he's saying, oh, we need to try this. We need to go into that.
Which
I
is
want to see this in
great.
the mouth. Yes, it is
You
great
need
because I'm
that.
thinking in the beginning he was like, I'm not very into just digital because I don't think it can't do my job.
Yeah,
But-
it's not reliable.
He wasn't into it.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, he understood how it works, but he couldn't imagine, this to be everyday,
Yeah.
everyday practice. Because I'm thinking the trouble is still, because it's not many good designers, not many good specialists in the technologies. They
Yeah.
can try it out, but you need to spend some time to implement the workflow. And this is probably the key thing which we still trying to find out the way to work.
Yeah.
Because
well, a lot of it is the dentist needs to just get the staff on board.
yeah,
Yeah.
seems
I
like
see
it's
that a
more
lot.
staff, but like sometimes they don't
I
get
see that all the time. The dentists
get-
want to get all the toys and the printers and the scanners, and then you got staff that's like, I'll just take an
yeah, and
impression.
they have no clue
Yeah.
where to start, to be honest,
Yeah.
and they don't know what you're supposed to achieve with them. So I'm thinking, it puts everything backwards. So that's why I'm thinking I've tried few designers around, and I was like, oh my God, no one can do as my sister. And like
Yeah.
somebody asking, who is she? I said, she's CAD designer, and everyone do CAD now. But I've seen doing CAD like when they press like literally next, and this is the capability of them to use CAD.
Yeah.
They do not think how that can ease my work. They just create the coping and you carry on because you are ceramist, you know where to trim, you know how to adjust, and this is you need to do. Because
Yeah.
I'm thinking, I can't remember the time I really need to fit my crowns because my crowns
I
go
know.
like this.
Yeah.
And I've been like, it's really possible. You just need to get into this deeper. You just need to take this serious
Yeah.
and just like learn yourself.
Educate. Yeah.
Educate, yeah.
Educate.
Because
Awesome.
it's not just minimally invasive procedures, it's also minimally, for you guys to spend time. Because if you need to just CAD technician work,
Yeah.
it's already kind of failure because you're snowballing, you're adding something on top. It needs to be also minimally invasive during the lab procedures. Just to clarify, this is why we plan from the end result End result sets the tone where we need to be. And this is how it works. This is what actually it's massive problem in the industry. They thinking CAD is easy. CAD is actually a thought process. It's a communication. Then we are designing.
Interesting. Yeah. That's a good way to look at it.
So it is a mindset. It's not just I sit at a computer and I can press next.
Yeah.
And, because there is so many pre-made things in CAD. However, we need to know how to manipulate with them and why.
Yeah.
It's not just I put a tooth in a place and I fill the gap. It's not dentistry. We need to think about function. We need to think about anatomy. We need to think about patient expectations, and we need to fill all these ticks. Yeah. And then the job is successful. Yeah. And also collaborate with the team, because if I did what I want and you, Barbara, don't want that, that is also not a great communication.
Right.
So I need to know your preference before I start work, because as many ceramics I work, I am calibrated to their needs.
Yeah.
It's not what I need or I want to make, is what you need to get.
So you work with other ceramists other than your sister?
Yes.
Yeah. That's pretty sweet. I love that. And then you just get to know each of them and what they're looking for in their cases, and you just tailor it to that.
Exactly. Because it's the same like ceramic choice.
Yeah. When
you think about ceramics, is what works in your hands, what works, with your brush, what works, with your technique, because there's so many techniques. So it's the same in CAD. We need to apply the same, structures, because it's thinking about the next person who's carrying the task. Because if I don't care, we all messed up.
Yeah. Do you teach? You teach, correct?
I will start teaching.
You need to start
You're
teaching.
speaking here.
Yeah.
Let's talk about that.
That's my first talk.
This is it?
Yeah. So
really?
No, it's not done. So I am, I never spoke in front of audience before. And my speech is on Friday. So we are...
Tomorrow,
Tomorrow, yes. With Dr. Ima, we are representing how we incorporate these new tasks and new tools and new features into real-time cases.
Yeah.
And how it helps for the patient, because it doesn't need to be invasive, because the cases evolve during the process.
Yeah.
At the beginning, we thought, especially for Patrick, the patient Patrick, we thought we will do 6 veneers. We ended up with 2, because there is no need. And he's only 29. So why to make the job pretty when we make it functional, long-lasting, and just give the patient what they want, what they like, and everything starts at ortho. We had a massive discussion with Edris Rasta.
Yeah.
So he's a massive influence for me, because...
You guys had quite the conversation last night. I kind of, I was down the table, but I was like,
because it is about putting teeth in the right place.
Yeah.
Then it functions right.
Yeah.
And everything is connected in the body. That I do agree with this concept a lot, because things are happening for a reason. And when we replace, something is missing. It needs to come in the big picture. It's not about, macro. It's about what we are as a human and how it interacts. So this is
well said.
You pretty much do ortho on every case, then.
Yes. If we can. It depends on the patient preference. We are speaking from the beginning. What they want, what is the budget.
Don't you hate it when they need it and they don't want to go through it? And you're like...
I do understand.
Complicates everything.
I mean, come on.
So when we look at the demographics between 18 and 25, and they come and want to veneer. And if I have a choice to speak about how much ortho can minimize the invasive procedure, it can change their mind. And so who are not patient, I do understand that we shouldn't do that as well, because if they are not sticking even to retainers, we can't. The treatment will be short term, and we will not achieve that long term, because they need when they get
contribution is very important.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yes, exactly. Because if they don't wear retainers, any sort of retainers after, the teeth will come back in the same place.
Sure.
Yeah.
And then our veneers is kind of
yeah.
So if they don't want to stick to the ortho treatment, it's kind of probably the way to go as well.
They got to get it. They have to be invested.
Yes.
Yeah. For sure.
Yeah. That's fantastic. So the doctor
luck.
you're speaking with,
yes,
she's from
Edinburgh,
Scottish. So that communication, similar to what you were talking about earlier, you still go through all the pre-planning with the face scans and all that with her?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So this is how it happens. Dentistry has no walls. It doesn't matter where you are. When it comes to planning in CAD, we don't need to be in office.
Yeah.
We just need to build the expectations. So it's grinding at the beginning what Ima wants, for example, as my dentist.
Yeah.
Learning the what are the expectations, and then it's very easy for me to communicate. If we build a partnership, there is not much talking about. We can go to the key points, customize, and then we can proceed with the treatment. With her, it's really easy because she is so experienced. She's a dentist for over 30 years.
Yeah.
And she knows the pattern and the palette, what patient wants and needs and what kind of patients are coming. And also the emotional impact of what she does. Mm-hmm. So we together made all the treatment under the Exocad umbrella, incorporating ExoArt, incorporating, smile design, and incorporating the Exoplan.
Yeah.
And everything was done so straightforward. And she was just like, I just I fitted, the implant, and everything just sit down. The margin's been beautiful. The implant placement was 45 minutes.
Wow.
That's it.
Yeah.
So everything is straightforward. And there's no struggle.
How'd you meet her? How did this connection
I was going to
happen?
ask that. I was going to say, how did you guys meet?
We used to work, and also it's not very hard to, see women in dentistry. It's not many of us.
Yeah.
And she was an ADI president, so Association of Dental Implantology.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So she's quite, she's inspiration for me as well. Just because to be a woman in the dentistry in such a dominated, male market is really hard. But also they stand out a lot.
Yeah.
So I am impressed what she achieved, during the years and how much experience I have to learn. And I am very honored because how you learn from people who are been in an industry longest.
Yeah. Well, awesome.
So you make
That's
teeth
amazing.
in so many different countries, right?
Yes.
I mean, do you see a difference?
Yes.
Is Scottish teeth different?
Yes. I mean, world is globalizing, so we're getting a standard Hollywood.
Yeah.
Everybody wants to have a Hollywood, and somebody wants to have what they had. So
America got the dominant image
Yeah.
for the smiles for everyone.
yeah, and there is fashion is a trend in the dentistry, which I adore. But when you see the personalities, you understand why.
Yeah.
And I do enjoy helping patients, so giving them, and that is interesting how some of the even towns, like in England, when you look at the, posh towns, they want to, something more natural. When you're looking, to like Manchester, then it's a bit...
That's crazy.
Then
But it makes sense.
Yeah, that's standing like BL1 look.
Yes.
Yeah.
So...
Which is changing because it used to be a lot darker, right?
Yes.
And now they're going brighter and brighter. The United States always was known as the bright white. And then in England, it was more natural.
Been time I didn't imagine what is bright white because I thought it's B1, A1.
Yeah.
And somebody's saying, oh, no, love, it's not that color. It's too
really,
dark.
really white.
It's really white. It's like a fridge white. And I've been thinking, do they really exist? And then I realized there is attachment on the shade guide. You need to buy
Makes
it
them
really.
even whiter.
Yeah, and this is when I've been introduced with really white.
Yeah.
So you don't have that where you're at, that
Well,
shade.
when I started as a ceramist, I never heard of these colors really. So
That's
I
funny.
didn't know them existed.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking that probably came to my life maybe 10-ish years ago.
Wow.
Yeah, something like that. So I've been like, wow. Because I always remember one lady asking me, can you do me like really very, very white color with like little diamond on the teeth?
Yeah.
And I've been
Been there,
thinking,
done that.
and I've been thinking, where did you get this idea
And
from?
why?
10
Yeah.
years ago, there wasn't
Yes.
like TikTok
And
or
I've
anything.
been like, what should I do now? Like, where should I get the ceramic, the white, And she's saying, I don't know, because foreigners, they got that white teeth.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was like going to a training center in Germany, and they said, oh my God, you don't know BL colors yet. So
They're coming.
I still need to learn a lot. So yes, amazing. I'm thinking now it's amazing. You know, it's one of the most wanted shades.
Oh,
really.
Yeah.
Yeah, most popular. I would like to know actually how much they're selling like really, really white. You know, and how
I
much
bet you a
darks
lot.
they still come, because now it's like very, I would say, everyone got the image how they want to look like, but really the bright dominant.
Oh, yeah.
Even if they do natural looks, you know, like feldspathic veneers, they still like asking like, no, it should be something, you know, can't say blinks, but like really outstands when you start smiling, isn't it?
They see
We
their
always
teeth.
say you see the teeth before they walk in the room, or as they walk in the room, you see their smiles.
Yeah, so this is successful achievement, you know,
Yeah.
like of your job.
Yeah.
And they're happy.
They are.
That's all that's important, really, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that the patient is satisfied.
Or wife.
Yeah. Or wife, yes.
Yes.
Very
True
true.
point.
Or next door neighbor.
Yeah.
So what kind of talks are you looking for?
Oh, that was
Here?
perfect. We're just going to wrap it up, I think.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Yeah.
Great
Thank
to
you.
see you.
Good luck tomorrow, and good
thank
luck
you.
with everything you guys are doing. We're really proud.
Oh,
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Guys
And
are
thank
killing
you.
it.
They brought us these,
Oh, the bobbleheads.
the bobbleheads.
I love them.
We now have bobbleheads, Elvis and Barb bobbleheads.
I have
You
so
need to
much
post
hair.
them online.
I will.
on. Thank
I will.
you.
Thank you
For
so
sure.
much.
Have a great meeting.
Yeah, we'll see you
Thank
around.
you. See you around.
Thank you. Bye.
Excellent. Exocad Insights 2024.
Mallorca.
Spain, day 2. We were with Kat Edney.
That's me.
And that is an
Awesome.
easy name for you to pronounce.
Yeah. Is Kat short for something, or is it just Kat?
It's short for Catherine, but only my husband calls me that.
Yeah.
And usually when I'm in trouble.
Oh, yeah.
Um,
Full name.
Why do you go by Kat? I've never heard this before.
It was never actually a choice that I made. It was just what happened. I had a ton of friends that just wouldn't use my full name. And
I love it, by the way.
absolutely hate anything in between. So I'm happy for Catherine, I'm happy for Kat, but don't call
No
me Kate.
Kathy.
No
Oh,
Kathy.
Yeah.
You know.
I get that.
So Kat is good, and I like to say cat like the animal because it's spelled with a C.
There you go. Yep, I love it. So you're a dental therapist from the UK.
That is correct.
So what the hell is a dental therapist?
And that is the question that everybody always asks.
But I love the fact that therapy, right?
Yeah.
Correct? Like psychological or hands, or I'll let you tell me.
It's not psychological. So dental therapy is, or a dental therapist is just like a hygienist. So we do all the hygiene stuff. We do checkups like a hygienist would do. We do radiographs, but we also do restorative.
Okay.
So any direct restorations. I don't do anything lab made unless I'm using like a stent. But that is starting to change as well in the UK a little bit. I'm working a lot more with labs with, 3D printing and stamp techniques and stents and injection mold techniques and stuff like that. So we're starting to use that. But I can't use porcelain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So is that a UK position, job? I don't know, or is it all over the place? Because I've never heard of it
Well, we were just
before.
talking. Apparently, there's a couple states in the U.S. that have dental therapists. I've just learned this.
Yeah,
You
it's
mentioned New
coming
Zealand, where it started?
Yeah, well, New Zealand, they have it. They started with dental therapists to service the indigenous population of New Zealand, where it was hard to get access to dental care. In the UK, we've actually had dental therapists since 1960s.
Oh, really?
So it's been going for a long time. But to start with, we were only hospital-based. And then and had to be working under a dentist. And then we very quickly moved out into private practice, but again had to be working under the supervision of the dentist. And then about 11 years ago in the UK, we had a huge change called direct access, which meant that a hygienist and a therapist and a clinical dental technician could see patients without prescription from a dentist. So the dentist does not need to be involved at all.
Oh. Could you open up your own practice?
Exactly. And the change is that we can now open our own practices, open our own offices, own them, run them. We don't need input from a dentist at all, apart from, very irritatingly, with local anesthetic prescriptions.
What is it? What?
What is
So
that?
to make a patient numb. lidocaine,
yeah.
Novocaine.
Yep. It's
So-
like an anesthesiologist.
But don't you have to do fillings?
Oh,
and
yeah.
things? Yeah.
So
So
this
that's
is
kind of a funny rule.
it's really
you can
tricky.
do everything but.
Yeah, so it's basically just a red tape. And there is a workaround. We have documents that we can produce and get signed off by a dentist and by the practice owner called a patient group directive. So instead of a patient-specific prescription for that medication, we can get a document that says this group of patients, if they satisfy this category and these conditions, then you can use it. So it's not difficult to get this workaround, but it's just irritating. But yeah, we can do all the restorations, the exams, anything direct, all the perio care. We can whiten patients' teeth, and then we just use the dentist when they're needed. So for porcelain, for ortho, for extractions, those sort of things.
So how do you know, what's the difference between a therapist and a hygienist?
So a hygienist stops at the perio care, at the gum care, at the cleaning. They don't do restorative. So they won't drill teeth, they won't fill teeth.
Okay.
So if somebody has a cavity needs filled, you can do it.
Absolutely.
Interesting.
Yep.
So is there more schooling to that?
So
do you have to go to school longer?
It's a 3-year degree to do that. And actually, interestingly, in the UK, you can do a 3-year degree to do hygiene as well. But most people do a 2-year hygiene and then an add-on year for therapy. So me, I'm old. So I did 2 qualifications side by side, which was 1 hygiene, 1 therapy. They worked side by side. But nowadays, it's almost like a top-up to become a therapist on top of a hygienist. So that's a possibility.
what it seems. So
as
it's
well.
higher level.
Yeah, absolutely.
Sure.
And do you know what? There's a midway point in Canada. I don't know if you know about this, but there's a restorative hygienist. Have you heard of that?
I have heard in Washington State, I got a friend that's a restorative hygienist.
So it's really interesting. They can't drill, but they can fill.
How do you not drill but fill?
It's crazy, right? So you can't
so the
prep.
dentist has to drill.
The dentist will prep, and then the dentist will be like, right, you're done. Go to see the restorative hygienist.
Wow.
And then that person comes in and makes the tooth look pretty.
But the restorative hygienist in Canada, they can seat a crown?
I believe so.
Yeah,
I believe
think
they
so.
can
They
do
can
that as
too.
well. Yeah. So
Which you can't do.
no, I can't.
That's so weird.
Yeah, it's a very strange profession. But once you know the ins and outs in your state or your country, then it's so fascinating. It's so fun to work this way. For me, it means that my patients get this collaborative care. It's like a global care plan.
Yeah.
So I'll do all their prevention, all of their getting ready for treatment, and then I'll send them to maybe 3 dentists. Because I don't know if you've noticed working in the lab and on the bench, some dentists are absolutely amazing at preps.
You are so right. And
there's, on the other hand, there's dentists that you perhaps would not send your mother or
Ever.
brother to for
I've
a
always
crown.
told people,
Yeah.
I can't tell you the good dentists, but I can tell you the ones I wouldn't go to.
Yeah. And so I'm on the other side of that coin. I feel like we're very similar in that when I worked solely as a hygienist, I might have worked with 3 or 4 dentists, and I saw that all their work. I saw it, plain as day. I saw if it worked, I saw if it failed, and so I could formulate an idea of which dentist I would send which patient to for which treatment, and that's how I now work. So I'll see the patient, I'll do the exam, and then they may need ortho with my ortho dentist, and then they'll go for crowns with my crown dentist, right? And I perhaps wouldn't mix those 2 up.
Were patients willing to go to so many dentists? Because I know a lot of patients just want a one-stop shop for everything.
And I think that's a mindset issue. I think it's something that we believe should be the way in dentistry, but we would never do that in medicine.
no.
Can you
you're
imagine
right.
going to your physician for a chiropody and heart surgery all in one go
Yeah.
with the same person? You wouldn't.
It's a great
No,
point.
you wouldn't.
But for some reason, we expect our dentist to be a jack of all trades.
Yeah.
Right? But
That
I
is
don't.
so true.
So if I live in the UK, how would I find you versus going to a dentist? Does the population know about you?
Sadly, no. The answer that I get when I say I'm a dental therapist is exactly what you were thinking, like, where you speak to teeth and make them feel better.
Talk
Like,
about
what
the
do
trauma, my
Yeah.
past teeth.
So yeah, there's still a huge gulf in knowledge. in the UK. It's starting to come in because our government has started talking about it. Our NHS system, our global healthcare system, has started talking about using us more. So it's definitely moving in the right direction, but it's still not well known. So essentially, when a patient comes into a practice, the onus is on us to explain the difference and what they're going to be receiving.
So do you have your own practice? What is the situation for you?
No, I don't. I work within a practice in the financial centre of central London, in Canary Wharf. It's a beautiful practice with amazing staff, and the practice owner is all in on this.
Is this the street that's known for all the dentists?
That's Harley Street.
Okay,
that's
some past guests
How in the heck do you know that?
A past guest talked about that.
Yeah. Harley Street is full of all the types of dentists you can imagine.
So you're not there?
I have been there, but not at present. No, I work in the sort of more glossy sort of Canary Wharf area, which is all the glass buildings and stuff like that, which is gorgeous. And it means that we have really well-maintained patients, all with great insurance because, JP Morgan is across the road all of these big banks. So that's really nice for me. And also it means that it attracts dentists who are excellent. So, we have an amazing dentist who only focuses on Invisalign. She is just so all in with that.
All she does is Invisalign.
All she does, and there's absolutely no way that she would do a restoration. She knows that she just wants the patients
But she's
once they're ready.
licensed too.
Oh, yeah.
She just doesn't,
Why would she? She can bang out like so much amazing ortho work, and she can make so much more money than if she was wasting her time. Essentially,
grilling work of just drilling.
Just trying to fill a tooth up when I can be doing that,
So is that how your day is? So give us a typical day. So you work with dentists.
Yeah, so there'll be maybe 3 or 4 dentists on site at a time, at any day. And maybe a hygienist as well. Patients will come in for checkups with myself. I do a long digital exam, so I use an iTero scanner. We educate them.
Scan everybody?
Scan every patient. Use that as a tool to educate the patient and use it as a tool to communicate with my dentists. So I will snapshot, annotate those scans, say these are the things that I think are needed to be done. I'm going to be getting the patient stable, so I send them to the hygienist for their perio care. They come to me for their restorative.
How come you don't do the hygiene?
Because I have a hygienist. Why would I spend my valuable time?
It's like the dentist doing ortho and not wanting to prep
the
crown.
Right?
Yeah.
You see?
I get you.
So you do what you love.
Yeah, I'll do what I'm good at, right? And my hygienist is amazing with behavior change and with perio, and they love it and they enjoy it. Why would I take that?
I get it.
Right? And I make more money doing fillings. So we split up that care, and the patient loves it because they know they're being sent to the right person who knows their craft. Right?
Yeah.
And then all the dentists, they're having the time of their lives because they're doing maybe 2 big cases a day, right? Those cases are just what they like to do. They're not having to do full consultations, loads of notes, loads of, constant.
Makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, and it's just nice.
Do they do hygiene check over there?
What do you mean?
Well, in America, a general practice dentist, a big part of their job is when someone comes in to get a cleaning, they have to do a check at the end.
Yeah.
And dentists complain in America that fills up so much of their day.
And this is why direct access came in to the UK 11 years ago, because we shouldn't need that to happen, right?
Yeah.
If we're doing our job correctly and you trust us to do the job, then why would you check on us?
Yeah.
And so actually direct access came in because they felt that...
What is direct access?
It's when you can see me without a dentist being involved.
Yeah.
Okay.
And they brought that in.
So you do the hygiene check?
No one does the hygiene check.
The hygienist does the hygiene check.
I trust the hygienist. She's good at the job.
But if she notices something,
you're like, damn it, Elvis.
That's out of her scope, she'll tell somebody.
She'll just message me.
Yeah, okay.
And that's what the scan's about, right? So we have the scan. I always say having a digital scan is like keeping a patient in your pocket. Patient doesn't have to be there. I can see it. Yeah. Right? And we all have it up on our screens anytime. I can get a message. I can see that. I can say, yeah, you're right. That looks like there might be a cavity at the distal of that 8 that no one ever sees, and pop the patient back to me. It's fine.
So help me understand, like this event, being in this event at Exocad. So what did you come here? I know you're speaking.
Yeah.
But do you obviously you use the system?
Yeah, I use
And what part of that is
So I use the iTero a lot for all my comms, all my communication. So I am the almost orchestra conductor, right? And so the scan is my way of communicating with the patient, my way of getting consent from the patient as well, because we annotate that scan. We send the annotated scan pictures to the patient with their treatment plans.
Yep.
We also send those to the dentists, and the dentist can send them back. Also, I work with labs in a way that I'll record the patient speaking to the lab tech.
Fascinating.
Oh, yes, I forgot about this.
For the
you showed me this
S's
at
and
dinner.
wow.
Check this out, yeah.
So we just basically record a video on my iPhone, very, very low tech, of the patient telling the lab tech what they want from their teeth. I mean, why would I tell the lab tech what the patient wants? That's pointless. And if I send you a video of them laughing, smiling, moving their head around, you're going to get a feel for who this person really is.
Isn't this a great idea?
That is a great
The actual
idea.
patient will, you take a video, and the patient's
personality.
like, I want this tooth to be this way. And just let the patient tell us.
It's like, I don't like my long canines. I feel like my teeth are a bit chipped at the front here. I don't like the way that this side shows, but that side doesn't. And rather than me try to relay that to a lab technician on a docket or anywhere else, I just upload that file into Exocad Connect through my iTero, and it's done.
Voila.
That's awesome.
So then the tech gets to see it, knows exactly
and
what to do.
And you know what's even better? Once the tech has done the full design, they'll voice note back. I've done this. This is the area. This is why I did it like this. I've made your embrasures slightly square because I noticed you've got quite a square jawline, and this matches your face features. And, you know, all of these things that communication gives the patient a choice and a sense that they are important. And they love it.
And it connects them to all of their treatment.
And not only that,
emotionally.
I believe that as a technician, you're kind of like stuffed in the back room, hidden away, like the man behind the curtain, doing the magic, right? It's the Wizard of Oz stuff. And I don't think it's fair. And I think actually, as a technician, you should see your work come to fruition. You should see the look on the patient's face when it fits and looks amazing. And you should have that direct dialogue with the patient. So that's the bit I love about my work. So why doesn't every person get that?
Patient acceptance must be higher because they were part of the process. They got what they asked for to some degree.
Because we are very conscious about making it look like a tooth, or making it the translucency perfect, or, you know, your mamelons looking amazing. Does the patient want that?
That's
sometimes they don't.
No, most of the time they don't.
Yeah.
Right?
What's that blue stuff right there?
Why have you done that? It looks dirty, you know? So it gives you an opportunity to really understand what that particular patient wants. Otherwise, you're just stabbing in the dark.
Yeah.
So do you work with a lot of different labs and technicians?
Currently, I work with one because they have that workflow. They understand it. They're flexible. They're open people. It's like a friendly relationship. Other labs, it's a struggle because what's a therapist? What do you do? Do you speak to teeth? You know, it's all of that. So we do find that it's a little bit trickier to get the lab to kind of understand what I'm asking them to do.
So one lab tech does all your work. Is it a male or a female?
It's a male, but actually it's not that much work, right, from a therapist point of view, because I don't do any porcelain.
Yeah.
Right. So all I'll ever be getting is, you know, injection mold stents, or maybe some stents, so that I can do a stamp technique on the molar.
What is that?
So
you said that before, stamp. I don't think I've heard that.
Yeah. So you can 3D print the relief of an occlusal surface. I can build up the tooth, and then I can just stamp the shape, stamp it in, and then cure it.
Yeah.
And then I've got my beautiful morphology that you guys created, because I'm nowhere near as good.
That's cool.
And I can just polish it. Yeah. Why don't we just simplify the process?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
You know. And also, as a therapist who's not allowed to use indirect, therefore traditionally haven't used labs, I'm always looking for ways that I can use a lab.
Yeah.
So I'm
awesome.
innovating in that. Yeah.
Wow.
Can you 3D print the part you'd fill in your filling? I know some dentists do this.
I think that's what the stamp is, right?
No, they actually print what they
So I mean, that's very similar to CEREC, right? You can mill or 3D print from composite right?
Yeah.
And you could use that, but I wouldn't be allowed to.
You wouldn't be allowed to.
That's indirect.
Yeah, even though
right.
it's
But an injection mold stent, right? We just put the stent on the anteriors. We've always done this for anteriors. Why are we not doing that for posteriors? And we've seen a few lectures today and yesterday where people are starting to do that, and that's what a therapist can do.
Yeah.
You know, and there's no guesswork.
Awesome.
You don't just speak at this. I mean, you're all over speaking, right? So how did you become the
person?
The face of dental therapist?
I really don't know how that happened. I was dual qualified, so I came out of university at 21, having done this training. And then I could not get a job as a therapist for 11 years.
11 years?
11 years
Wow.
working
Why?
as a hygienist because nobody knows. Nobody wanted to do it. No one could understand how it would work. There were so many questions, and I just didn't have the answers. I didn't really know either. And then really just before COVID, I kind of got fed up with it all, bored. And I was bored of being a hygienist. So that's when I picked up the scanner. I picked up a digital camera. I started taking pictures, posting what I was doing. And I noticed that it made a massive difference to patients. It made a massive difference to my colleagues because they were like, oh, Kat, that was pretty good. You did a good job there.
Yeah.
And so I decided to go on this journey of getting my skills back, and I call it putting therapy into practice, putting it in physical practice, putting it into an office. And yeah, it was a huge journey, loads of investment on my part, lots of training. I did a couple of postgraduate training courses and stuff like that. And then I started posting my work, like my fillings. And I was getting dentists going, oh, you can do it. Check you out. And eventually you would get to a point where a dentist would be like, I want you to do this for me. And then I started speaking about how I got that to work. And now in the UK, I run a training brand called The Modern Therapist, and its aim is to put therapy back into practice. So it's got two arms. One is training therapists to be modern therapists.
After they went through school.
After they went through school, because most of them 70% are working as hygienists.
Yeah.
And the other side of the arm is training practices how to put therapy into their practice.
Nice.
So I go into practices, do protocol training, team training, flip the model, get the dentists on board, and get the reception staff, usually are the big ones, to explain it to everyone.
Is it hard to get them on board with it?
Oh, it's so much confusion and questions, but it's always the same questions, and it's easy to answer. Like, it's how can I possibly treat a patient I've never met before, and the therapist is treatment planned, and they're coming in, and I'm just expected to go in there and do the treatment, and I'm like, that's what we've been doing as hygienists forever. Patient turns up, you clean the teeth, right? Patient turns up, you do the treatment.
Yeah.
You don't have to meet them beforehand and make sure you're friendly.
So if you think a patient needs a crown, you just say, hey, doctor, this patient needs a crown. They walk in and just do it.
I say, hey, there's a patient I'm sending you. That's this patient I'm sending you needs a crown. Check the photos, the scans, the x-rays.
You have all the data. Yeah.
All the stuff that you would have taken yourself, if you were doing the exam yourself.
So you just save them mucho time.
It's all there.
Yep.
If you don't like it, let me know, and we'll reschedule something else.
Interesting.
So
then you send them, they do the crown prep, they seed it also?
Yeah, they do everything.
And then they take it from there.
They take it from there.
But there's also times when they prep and you're bonding.
No, not in the UK, but potentially in Canada, I believe they do that. Yeah.
Yeah, she's allowed to drill and fill.
Yeah.
The name of the episode.
Drill and fill. Yeah. So I'm really hopeful that will be brought over more states.
Yeah.
The direct access, I know, is a thing that is being discussed as well in a few states. It's possible in Canada, I know. So I'm really
dip your fingers in the United States and Canada just to see what's happening.
Yeah.
You keep track of it.
I've spoken for RDHU, which is a Canadian association brand, training brand, and I have connections with, I don't know if you know Dr. Joy. She's a prominent hygienist in the States, through LM Instruments. And I have an awareness of what is happening, and
we're a little slower.
Well, it's
honestly
really interesting because it never was that way.
Yeah.
We always really revered what was happening in America, but I do feel like that has flipped a little bit since in the UK we're not so confined by insurance policies. right? So our private dentistry is just private. Most people just pay, right?
Interesting.
We know they don't do that in the U.S. at all,
No.
honestly.
Yeah, I know it's very tricky. I mean, my brother lives in Texas, and it's the insurance thing is the biggest conversation we ever have.
Yeah.
Well, what is are dentists open to this idea? I mean, in a general, because there in the States, the dentists have an organization, and the organization is the one to say, let's not have this happen.
A lot of control.
This is why denturists have an issue getting more legalization.
Yeah.
Is that same
We
in the
had
UK?
exactly that once.
Yeah.
We had exactly that. We've got so many, articles, documentation from the past of the Dentists Association saying, "Oh, whoa, this is not a good idea."
Cutting into our money, cutting into our
And
business.
slowly but surely, progressive dentists are working with modern therapists.
Yeah.
Slowly but surely, and it's really happening. Every lecture I give, regardless of the subject, when they find out what I do, all the questions are about this.
Yeah.
All the questions, because I really believe it's the future.
Do you see the laws changing even more in the UK where you will be able to do the anesthetic part of it?
Yeah, so they actually are at the end of this year. So we just had a bill passed where they will give us what we call exemptions for prescriptions for anesthetic and fluoride, which are both prescription-only medications in our country. So that
you need
has
a prescription
changed.
to get fluoride?
For certain strengths.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that has changed this year, but it will be a slow change. It will include more training. So we're just waiting to see what that's going to look like. But that's been a huge change that is so exciting.
Yeah.
And I also feel our scope of practice, our document that tells us what we're allowed to do, it hasn't changed since 2013. And since then, digital has really changed the way we provide dentistry. And I do believe that when that changes again, it should allow us a little bit more flexibility on what we do.
Yeah.
Maybe some CEREC, maybe
Sounds like it's going that direction.
in that way. And I really hope it does, because it makes no sense to me to trust me to build up an entire tooth in composite,
but
not trust me to stick one on that's been made by an expert.
Yeah.
Right?
Doesn't make sense, yeah.
It's like the same thing.
Exactly.
Just different material.
Exactly. So let's see. I mean, I have such hope for the future.
Awesome.
That's cool. Kat, thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you for inviting me today.
Yeah.
I appreciate that.
Super interesting.
So cool to learn all about that and keep the therapy alive.
Amazing. And putting therapy into practice. Let's hope.
Good luck to you.
Thank you so much.
Thanks to Exocad, and I mean that very sincerely. We get to say thanks to Kristina, Margarita, and Kat for sitting down with us at the Exocad Insights 2024. You know, we love a dental family that can work so well together, and the Vaitelyte family sounds like they are going to do some great things together. Congratulations to Kristina for getting on stage, being a super badass at the Insights for her first time speaking, and she nailed it. You did an amazing job. And it was super cool getting to know Kat and getting to know what the heck a dental therapist is. I really thought it was like a psychologist, but it's so much more. After she explained how it works and the benefits to the patient and to the team, it really makes sense, and we hope that it takes off even more and we see more states in the U.S. allow dental therapists to practice. We'll see how that goes. Thanks again, you guys, for sitting down with us.
All right, everybody, that's all we got for you, and have a wonderful 4th of July.
Have a great week.
Bye. My case went in today, not one single adjustment. The views and opinions expressed on the Voices from the Bench podcast are those of the guest and do not necessarily reflect the official policy or position of the host or Voices from the Bench, LLC.